So I thought I'd provide a bit of an update on the really contentious issue, which is about the future of Windsor House Hotel. Now, you will recall that there was a completely shambolic so-called consultation meeting organised jointly by the people who own this building, SDR, and Worthing Council at the end of June. It was done in the afternoon when a lot of people are at work, and they were invited to what turned out to be a small room at the East Worthing Community Centre. So when about 200 people tried to get in around 5 o'clock, it was complete and utter shambles. And that was supposed to be consultation. But what has since emerged, which I think is really disgraceful, is 2 days before that attempt at a consultation meeting, the Cabinet Member for Housing on Worthing Council actually signed an agreement with the owners of this place, potentially to have the use of it for the next 10 years, to house, remember, 44 mostly likely single men at this one location, many of them with extra additional needs. So if they're going to have a proper consultation, why do you do the deal before you've even spoken to people to get their views? So not surprisingly, a lot of my constituents living around here are really up in arms, and that's why I'm determined that we're going to fight this one all the way. So the Conservative councillors on Worthing Council asked for a call-in, and on the 25th of July there was a call-in of what's called the JOS, the Joint Overview and Scrutiny Committee from Worthing and Ada, held at the Shoreham Centre, where there was a call for it to be referred back to the Worthing Council meeting, so all these things that have come out of the woodwork since could be properly discussed, properly scrutinised and properly questioned by members of the public as well. Alas, that call was overturned. Every single Labour councillor on that committee voted against it, including one of them who represents this very ward. So now it looks as though it will be down to planning. We're expecting a new planning application over the next few weeks or months from SDR. I can't see how it's going to be much different to the one which they submitted and was rejected by Worthing Planning Committee back in January, because the problem is the location. We know we need more accommodation for homeless people, but we also know that in this part of Worthing, in Selborne in particular, we have got an awful lot of HMOs already. We've got a drug rehab place, we've got various other places for people with challenging behaviours, all concentrated in a small area, and that's why residents are rightly up in arms that we're going to have probably the biggest HMO in the whole of Worthing if this goes through. So I'm going to be writing again to the Planning Committee when that application goes in. I'm going to be working with the residents to see how we can maximise the concerns of local people, to say to the Planning Committee, this is not the best place to have an HMO. It was rejected before because of the over-concentration in this area, because of the impact it would have on the environment and the life of people in this area. That's not changed. That's why it needs to be kicked out again. And we need the Windsor House Hotel, if it's not going to be a hotel anymore, much loved though it was, it needs to be turned into flats or other sorts of accommodation to help with the demand for housing in this area. But I'm afraid this is the wrong use for it in the wrong place, and that's why we're going to fight on.